This is the bottom of a brand new nuke I got yesterday. What on earth am I looking at?
Hey guys, so this is actually a post that was shared on Facebook. I reached out to the guy directly, asked if he could give me that video to share with others after he removed it because there were so many negative comments on there.
Watch your profanity.
So this is actually what happened to him. He bought a nuke from like Florida, and he's out of state, so this person brings it up to him, said, "Oh, I didn't have time to inspect it, I'm sorry." So this person, the beekeeper who was selling, didn't have the state inspector come out and look at it, which is always a good idea. But also the guy who was like his go-between, like his beekeeping dealer, didn't do the inspection for him. So this is what he ended up with. So I wanted to talk about small hive beetles and what he did and what are some ways you can prevent this from happening. So prevention is going to be your number one line of defense. So actually, sorry, let me pause this real quick. Small hive beetles are from the sub-Saharan Africa. They are not from the United States, just as bees are not from the United States. So they have kind of migrated over here as, we have bees travel, they bring different pests and diseases, and a lot of times when they're in an area that's not native to them, they don't have the same defense mechanism. So in the United States, the small hive beetle, or SHB, as you'll see it called a lot, is a bigger problem here than it is in sub-Saharan Africa, which is where they're originally from. So basically, here's the life cycle. I wanted to share this with you guys. The life cycle of the small hive beetle is that the small hive beetle goes in to a place that's nice and shady. They smell the honey, they smell the brood and the pollen. So they're like, oh, this is a nice little home. They're kind of like Goldilocks, just breaking into the bear's house and stealing their food. So they're a pest, and the bees can't pick them up and take them out. And especially in a weak hive where the bees, what they will do is they'll kind of like escort them out. There may not be enough guard bees to do that. So they breed and reproduce very quickly, and they lay eggs, and the cells that the bees have worked so hard to make, as they're laying these eggs, they're also very destructive. They destroy the cells and they make holes in them and stuff like that. They're eating the bees' food. 2 to 4 days later, the small hive beetle egg hatches and becomes larva, and their larva is surprisingly big compared to like the size of the actual beetle. So yeah, once they hatch, they go and they eat the pollen and the honey and the brood and the eggs. So they're kind of just eating on everything. And when they're eating the honey, they're also defecating in it. So now you have another problem. The honey is now unusable. It becomes not only, nasty, but it gets frothy, it ferments, it develops a really unpleasant smell. I think it said it's like rotten oranges or something. So it's all this problems going on where they're stealing, they're ruining the perfectly good honey, they're destroying the cells, they're like really, really bad tenants or something, so the bees can't seem to kick them out. So your first line of defense is to prevent them from becoming a problem, keeping your hive nice and strong, making sure that the hive is off the ground, not directly on there. When you're cleaning the hive, making sure you're not dropping pieces of burr-comb, which I've done a couple of times on accident, so if you can, pick it back up. The things you can do once, like with this guy, obviously prevention wasn't an option for him. So, it could have been if he had made sure they were inspected, but we're past that point now. So you have this hive, it's infested. What do you do? So there's mechanical traps, which are these little plastic traps with holes in them that are just big enough for the hive beetle to go in. You can put vegetable or mineral or hive beetle oil in there, and the hive beetles are attracted to the smell. They go into it and they drown. So that's one thing you can do. You just want to make sure that you're very careful about handling it, because if you spill it on the bees, it'll kill them. So put that in the hive very carefully. Another thing you can do is treat the soil. When the larva is about 7 to 10 days old, they crawl out of the hive, they go into the soil, where they then develop fully into the hive beetle. So if you're treating the soil, which is where they would basically be growing up and finishing their development, then they can't. You know, you'd be killing them. However, a lot of soil treatments can also harm the bees. So you could also do nematodes that eat small hive beetles. So that's another option. And then so you have the mechanical, you have the nematodes, you have soil treatment, lots of different options out there. If you are like this guy and you're already past the point of being able to do prevention, or it's already kind of gotten out of hand, you could move your hive to a place that is more sunny, or make sure it is off the ground at this point too, if those things aren't things you were doing before. And then you can use chemicals, but one thing it says to keep in mind in this article, it says when you use chemicals too much, your hive will become resistant, so you don't want to use them too much, and they can be harmful. So really, management and prevention is the best thing you can do, but you do have some options if this becomes a problem. So I hope that this video helps you guys. Again, I'm super appreciative that this guy shared this video with me and shared his story with me. It was really, really nice of him, and it gave me an opportunity to learn a lot. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I didn't want to just, you know, keep all this knowledge to myself. Just kidding. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys stick around for the next video. If you guys have watched this far, I appreciate it. I don't usually make videos this long. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification button. All right, bye guys. Have a great one.